Hi there, this is Kristen, and I'm a blogger at the Verbal Abuse and Relationships blog at healthyplace.com. And I want to talk a little bit about boundaries in relationships and how that makes a difference in relationships where you've been verbally abused in the past or where you've been emotionally abused in the past, because it can make it hard to recognize where people have been trying to push your boundaries. One of the things that I've been coming into or coming to recognize is that it's not one of those things where you set your boundaries and then that's it. You never have to think about it again. You almost have to constantly renegotiate them, or you have to think about it a lot, because there'll always be people who want to push them, or there'll always be people who want to see how far they can get or see if they can get you to change your mind. So what that means is you have to be clear in your mind already what it is you will and won't accept, what it is that you are comfortable with, that you know in your heart is good or not good for you. You have to know what your values are, so that when you are in a situation with somebody, they can't talk you out of something or talk you into something, that you're comfortable with getting up and walking away or saying no. And I think that it goes even beyond that, that it's our responsibility to say no to them, to communicate our boundaries in some way clearly, and then watch how that person reacts. They can't read our minds, and there's nothing wrong with them asking. That's how communication goes. Sometimes we might feel like they shouldn't be asking that, they shouldn't be doing that. And maybe that's true, maybe it's not. People come from different backgrounds, they do different things. Sometimes, people cross the line, but that's kind of a red flag right there. The real red flag comes when we tell them what our boundaries are, or we say no, and then watch how they react. If they don't like it, or if they keep trying to pressure us, that's the real red flag. If they won't let us say no, or they won't let us, have our space or protect that boundary, that's when we know what we're dealing with right there. And so that's what I've learned that I need to be on the lookout for, is people that don't respect me enough to let me have my boundary. It's really hard to say no to people. It's really hard to have your boundary. And we want to live in a world where people don't push on our boundaries. We want to just be able to walk around with our little safe boundaries. And we think that's the end of it. But no, people are going to constantly come up against them. And so we are gonna have to say something about them. And it's going to be uncomfortable because we don't know how people are going to react. But that's part of it, is being able to say out loud, no, I'm not comfortable with that, or no, I don't really want to do that. And then wait for the reaction, not knowing how they're gonna react to it, and then deal with that accordingly. And it's their responsibility to tell us how they react to it. And hopefully, if it's a healthy relationship, that's what we should be doing, is communicating our boundaries. And then if they're a healthy person, they're going to be okay with it. And hopefully we can learn from that, what happened in our past relationships that wasn't healthy. Our boundaries weren't being respected. And so that's, what I'm looking for in all my relationships going forward. Not just romantic relationships, but my friendships as well, and relationships with everyone in my life, at work, in my family, everyone. So healthy communication, I think, is part of having healthy boundaries. So thanks for listening. Goodbye.